Hello, coaches. Welcome to iCoach Football. I'm your host, Joel Forsberg, and as you know, this channel is dedicated to helping coaches like yourself become more successful at both youth tackle football and youth 7-on-7. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things that can help your practice go much, much better in leading up to your first game. And you can also carry this out through the whole season, but particularly the first few weeks of practice, whether it be 2 or 3 weeks or whatever your runway is up to your first game. Here are 3 things that I do a little bit differently that have really given me a lot of success, and I want to share them with you. Okay? Number 1, there is a philosophy ever since the fear of concussion and the fear of having your kids play football. There's a philosophy to try to lessen contact in football. And lessen live contact. And you see it, you read it in books, you see associations pushing it, you see things like the tackle bar come out where you can reach and grab a bar instead of tackling. You see the tackle wheel and all these things to try to play off this fear of concussions for players. And what happens is you get a lot of coaches that start falling into this fear of making their kids tackle, whether they're feeling pressure from the associations or the parents. So they go real light in that category. They'll go real light in live, full contact tackling, whether it's through the whole season, but especially in the beginning of the season. Well, I don't do that. I've never done that. From day one, whether it's from 3rd grade all the way through 8th grade, what I teach is an accelerated course on getting to live tackling safely. What does that mean? That means I teach them the fundamentals, what side of the head to put your head on, shoulder tackle, wrap, squeeze, lift, drive, the fundamentals of tackling. We go through those steps really quickly. So sometimes between the end of the first day or the second day of practice, we could be live tackling. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of administrators out there and parents being going, what? Yes. Not only that, we'll live tackle every day till the first game. Every day we are going to have some sort of live tackling drill. And sometimes they go long. Sometimes, I'll get the kids to tackle up to 10, 15 times each before we call the end of the drill, until they're really starting to fire off. This does a couple things. One thing you have to know is the fears of concussions and those types of things. We're talking about like at high level, the pros in college and high school, you're talking about huge collisions from people who are traveling extremely fast with a massive amount of strength and weight, okay? In the younger grades, you don't get that. 3rd, 3rd through 8th grade, they're not moving at that velocity. And they still have the same equipment. They still have that $500 helmet over their head that a pro football player or a college football player has, but they're running half the speed with half the weight. Okay, they're not going to be hurting themselves in these practices like everybody thinks. I know that after 7, 8 years of running practices, they're not going to get hurt. I mean, they get bumps and bruises. Occasionally you'll get one kid doing a really wrong and they'll helmet to helmet and they're like, oh, my head, I'm a little dizzy. But that's very rare, okay? I would rather them have that confidence and ability going into the first game than coming to the first game and then being overwhelmed. And I'll tell you one thing. We come to the first game every season and we absolutely dominate the other team. And when the younger grades will keep dominating. I've had seasons of just almost completely unscored upon. 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade seasons where they just won't score because I'm going to tell you, every one of my kids not only learns how to tackle, but they learn to love to tackle. By the time we show up to that first game, they've tackled live 200 times. So it's like nothing. It's like now it's time to go, now it's time to get the other guy instead of my friends. They're headhunting by that first game. And you'll just overwhelm. You will completely overwhelm the other team on your defense. They'll be like, what happened? Who just let the dogs out? I mean, it's really what you see on the face of the players and the other coaches. And you can keep that momentum. And then later on in the season, especially when they get older, 7th and 8th grade and stuff, the other teams will start to get that aggression. But it could take them, 2 or 3 games. And those 2 or 3 games, smoking teams those first 2 or 3 games because your guys are ready to go. and they want to tackle, and they know how to tackle, and they know how to tackle the right way to keep themselves safe, and they know how to accelerate through. That's why I hate this tackle bar thing. It's just the worst thing. You're teaching kids not how to protect themselves. You protect yourself as a tackler, I tell these kids, by taking your shoulder and driving it full speed through the other kid's hip or midsection. Once you start to slow down and try to grab for something or try to do something kind of tricky, like grab the tackle bar, you're not teaching them to do it the right way. They're actually going to take the hit instead of give the hit. So anyway, we go live on the tackling right away. We teach them the fundamentals, and we keep teaching them as the drills go on. We will constantly be talking to every kid. So we use the Seahawk tackling drill. If you ever, USA Football now uses the Seahawk tackle drill, drills and methods. And so I would definitely, go ahead and, Google that, Seahawk tackling. But they I think they just call it hawk tackling, but invented by the Seattle Seahawks. It's a leverage style tackling that mimics rugby. But these kids can do it. They can do it quick, and they can and get them doing it right away. Okay, so there's the point number one. Point number two: just work on a few plays leading up to the first game. I usually have 3 run plays. I got the inside play, and it goes left and right. So I got 2 options there. I got like an off tackle or just outside the tackle play. That's going to be the second one, left and right. And then I got an outside play, whether it be a toss or sweep, the outside run play, left and right. So you got 3 plays, 6 options. And then I always have at least one pass play in there, like you might have seen in one of my other videos. You always got to have a pass play to kind of loosen them up and keep them faithful. So I usually have the 3 run plays and a pass play, and that's all we run. It's all we run. I don't introduce any other plays leading up to the first and maybe even the second game. If I don't feel like they fully got it for the first game, we might just run those same ones the second game. Maybe introduce one more pass play. But keep it very basic and let them get confidence in just really executing. So every player is executing exactly what they need to execute leading up to that first game. And what will happen is you'll also then overwhelm them in offense, because your players are going to come out so confident and so ready because they ran that same play so many times coming into that first game that it's like clockwork. They just like boom, it's done. And I see so many coaches trying to just throw the book at the let's run this, let's run that, let's run a double reverse, let's run 4 pass plays. Just stop that stuff. Just keep it really basic, okay? Okay, number 3. In my practices, I run very small lines. There's no line. There's no standing around. Every one of your drills, if you have a drill with a long line, split the line up into 2. All right? If you got 10 guys in a line, they're getting the ball, boom, split it into 5 guys in a line, have 2 guys throwing. Get another coach to come over and throw if you don't have the quarterback. If it's a tackle drill, and I don't put the whole team behind. I put the bigger kids in these 2 lines and the smaller kids in these 2 lines, and I have them, and I have a coach over there correcting the small kids over there, and I'll be correcting the big kids or vice versa, and we run fast. So they're getting constant conditioning without even knowing that they're getting conditioning. Same with blocking drills. Any drills that we run them real fast. I like to do like a lot of one-on-one, so I'll get everybody paired up, especially when we're learning how to block, or I'll say, okay, now you're blocking to the right, and they'll reach block to the right, reach block to the left. And then same with tackling, shoulder to the right, lift, drive. So everybody's doing something and getting a lot of cardio and getting a lot of reps. Okay, a lot of cardio, a lot of reps, short lines, fast drills. Run the drills fast. If you that takes a little more organization and pep in your step. I get done with my August practices just pouring down sweat because we are basically just constantly going. And it also sets a tempo in the players. I mean, another thing that sets a tempo. I mean, this could be 0.4. I was only supposed to have 3, but never let them walk on the field or from drill to drill. And they cannot walk. They have to jog or run. There's no walking on the field. So you set this tempo. When they get to a certain sideline, then they can walk over, have their water, but then they're jogging back to the field. They're jogging from one drill to the next. You're setting a quick tempo. And it really changes their whole MO. It changes how they operate. You get the sluggish kids that just come from the pool side or the couch playing video games, and by the end of 3 weeks, you got these guys that are just hopping. They're hopping from, they're ready to go. They're chomping at the bit. They're like dogs ready for hunting. It's an aggressive game. It's a violent game, and it's played by aggressive kids. And you can help them get to that position by setting that tempo and setting that speed. So anyway, those are the 3 things, maybe actually 4 things that will really help your practices leading up to your first couple games and keep that momentum going through. I should say towards the end of the season when kids start getting a little more banged up, we actually don't do as much live, because by that time, they've been hitting, right? You get to the last 2 or 3 games or the playoffs, and it's like, okay, we're going to just do a little bit of thud and maybe a little bit of live. You got to keep them a little bit on the edge, but you don't need as much. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.